Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my podcast. Snacks Thoughts, I say again, welcome to my podcast. And before I get this podcast started, just wanted to introduce guys some products I have. It's called the 5 Best Weight Solution. So link will be left in the description if you want to cut some body fat or belly fat and seeking to lose some weight. Our health is the next to God is the most important thing we can have. But now let's move along with my thought for the night. Now we know that President Trump has been doing this mass immigration of illegal immigrants, and getting them out of here and sending them back to their home country. And if they're committed any crimes or criminals, sending them to the prison to be housed in El Salvador. Well, I guess it's no secret, if you guys haven't already heard, and I know a lot of Americans and South Africans are pissed because of these, it's decided to take in these South African he's calling them refugees, but most of the world, and even in my personal opinion, they're not really refugees, and there's no genocide going on over in South Africa. The individuals that I guess Trump, and with the help or bug of Elon Musk, in his ear, these were pretty much, I think, middle to upper middle class folks. It might have been a little bit higher, but I guess the South Africans, I guess the blacks, whatever, over there, they have decided to extract back, some of the land, or farmland, and give it, to the native citizens, and I believe the white Afrikaners over in South Africa, I think they may be something like they 10% of the population, and I think they own 70% of the wealth, and also a lot of the precious resources, to include the land. So the South African government is like, hey, wait a minute, you guys are not even from this particular country, and your ancestors colonized and took the land, and then you guys subjugated the black South Africans to apartheid, and so basically what it comes down to is that I guess the South African government basically decided to level the playing field and to make it more fair and equal, and supposedly a certain percentage of the white Afrikaners, are belly aching about it, and I guess supposedly they trumped up a lie and said that they're being attacked and it's genocide, and it's no such thing. Now, believe it or not, there are a lot of South Africans that are upset with these South Africans that have decided, I guess you could say, to defect to the United States, and also a lot of Americans in this population are upset, and surprisingly, it's a lot of white Americans that they are upset, by Trump bringing in these white Afrikaners, and you're going to open up the checkbook and give them all these privileges, housing, and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there are some that believe that these South Africans, that they're in for rude awakening, and if they think that they're going to be able to jump the line and come into America and have what they had in South Africa, but there are a lot of people that are quite upset, and I guess I could understand from an American's point of view. I would understand, you have people here in America that are struggling, and a lot of people have worked hard. They had businesses, and a lot of it is not due to their own fault, that the middle class is being wiped out. People lost their businesses and their livelihood, in many ways, unfairly. Obviously before this occurred, what really kicked it off was, COVID, the virus, and that forced, a lot of people and businesses, to shut down, or they had to downsize, and they wind up losing revenue, and eventually they couldn't stay open, so they went out of business. People were told to stay home. Now that's what the government told its citizens here in America to do. And this went on worldwide, but I'm speaking of America. Okay? And then you carry on to what has transpired since, to an economy that has been tore back. And with these the beef with China and America, with these tariffs, didn't help any. Now, obviously, they've gone to, I guess, a 90-day, a stay, so where they're trying to negotiate and, come up, with a deal between China and America, because both countries are suffering tremendous damage, but when you have the loss of jobs that's occurring here in America, and then unemployment, on the rise, and then you have high inflation, and people just basically trying to put two nickels together, they're going to be upset if you're going to take a group of people that were pretty much well-to-do in their own country and bring them in here, and you basically mass kick out a bunch of immigrants, but you bring them in, it does look honestly kind of suspect, so it's like, well, why are you bringing them in? If you're going to do that, saying, why you kick all the immigrants out? I thought you needed to relieve the American economy, or the American fiscal budget, of certain burdens. So why are you taking on more burdens, and why are you giving them privileged treatment? And I really thought I didn't know that many white Americans would be that upset, but I guess they're feeling the crunch, and it's like, hey, what are you doing, dude? You bringing in, foreigners to jump the line, above, us and, other Americans, after you claim to be putting immigrants, out, that were here illegally. And there has been some people that are here legally that have been, pushed out, either by certain mistakes probably made by ICE, and you got to get those people back in the country, which they are dragging their feet, in some cases, but I mean, I don't know. This is like, in a way, I think it could be viewed. I think it's maybe a bit unfair. I do not think that if you're gonna put immigrants out, I don't think you should be bringing anybody else in. It doesn't seem fair, and then to give them what other American citizens here can't get, I don't think that's fair. We have a population of homelessness that is increasing here. Now, I guess supposedly maybe he's got some plans, but he better figure it out quickly. But I don't think it's right, to give to them, and you don't take care of Americans first. If you're going to take these South Africans in, then you need to be taking care of home first, and it's not right, to let them jump to the front of the line. African Americans can't even get reparations. Every time it comes to foundational Black Americans who are the descendants, ADOS, of slaves, which had a great deal in building this country and was a great deal in being part of the backbone of it. There's always excuses, and all of a sudden this country, they ain't got it, but they got it for everybody else, Or if I want to be politically correct, I could say have it, but I'll stick with got it, So, but I think a lot of Americans are starting to figure out that top 1%, and I'm talking about the top percent of the 1%, the elite, are it's just basically, it's like the 99% versus them, because it's like they stealing everything left, right, and center, and trying to leave regular folks, what I'm saying, with nothing, when they talk about you will own nothing and be happy, it looks like they're trying to snatch up everything and drive the middle class, what I'm saying, I guess into poverty, or trying to eliminate it and make everybody working class or poor, excuse me, so I have to agree with a lot of Americans. I could understand their point, but it just looks suspect to me. If you're taking other immigrants out and you said that, hey, we got to reduce the fiscal budget, what I'm saying, but then you give these South Africans this type of treatment, in particular white South Africans, these are the ones that's fleeing, and doesn't look like anything's wrong with them, or like they really fleeing from something, what I'm saying, but the playing field has become, they making it more level over there. So it's like, hey, you got to compete, what I'm saying? But a lot of their kinsmen accuse them of being cowards, what I'm saying, and running instead of staying in and working, with the situation and just basically earn your keep versus having privilege. But, hey, these elites, they have the power as it stands, and they do what they want to do when it's convenient for them. As you can see, a lot of rules, have been broken, or things have been made to happen instantly that they said that it couldn't be done, or it would take all of these different steps or protocol, or red tape in order to make it happen. And look what they can do, with a snap of a finger if they so choose. So it's just something to think about, guys, and more to come, with this. But from what I understand, a lot of Americans, and especially white Americans, which I'm shocked, they are not receptive to the idea of these white Afrikaners from South Africa coming in, getting refugee status, and getting all of these benefits, and the American government opening up the checkbook and giving them favors, while they leave the rest of the American population out, and to try to scramble to survive. But just my thoughts, guys, what I'm saying, but love to hear what you think about it. But that's all I have on this one, but that is some food for thought. And the name of this podcast is Snacks Thoughts. That's SNAKZTHOUGHTS. Snacks Thoughts. You can find this podcast, this podcast on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and a host of other social media outlets. I also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS, YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. So please, and I'm also just recently gone to Rumble under Snacks123, SNAKZ 123. So I'm also on Rumble too, just recently going over there, guys. But please, join Snacks Thoughts. What I'm saying, leave a comment. Love to hear your thoughts, and also smash that bell to become a subscriber of my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, and smash the bell to turn on all notifications, of my YouTube videos. And hit the like button to like the videos. Hit the unlike button if you don't like them. Either way, love to dialogue, but you leave a comment. Either way, everyone has a right to be heard. And like I said, I'm also on Rumble, Snacks123 on Rumble. So hey, you can check out content over there, and leave a like or unlike, and leave a comment. And lastly, I just want to mention, check out the website for top 5 best products for weight loss. Check it out, guys. What I'm saying? Link will be in the description. All right, guys. But that's all I have on this one. But please share it. Snacks Thoughts, Eric Broadus YouTube, Snacks123. Share them with family, friends, enemies, frenemies, rats, dogs, bats, goats, cats, whatever. Share them. Push it out. But This is something with this country. This is something else. You know what I'm saying? But, oh well. The Trump's immigration swap, you know, bringing in South African refugees, but putting out the immigrants. I don't know what to make of this one. Later, guys. Peace out. Catch you on the next one.